I've been a data analyst for a while now, but wait a minute. Let's imagine that I had to start all over again in the year 2025, okay? With the experiences I have now, the mistakes I've made, and with the way the tech world is ever changing, would I do anything differently? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the exact path I would take to become a data analyst in 2025. Okay, I'll be sharing with you the skills I'll learn first, the tools I'll focus on, and I would have landed my first job faster than before. So, if you're trying to become a data analyst in 2025, then please go grab your notebook because this is the strategy I wish I had when I was just starting out. Okay, so without wasting time, let's dive right in. So let me share a brief intro with you about my own data analysis journey. Okay. So I started my data analytical career in the year 2022. Okay. So at that time, I wanted to become a data analyst, but I did not really know the difference between data analysis or data science at that time. But I knew I was hearing about Python programming language. Okay. So I did a brief research and I saw videos on YouTube regarding Python programming language for data analysis. Okay, so that was what I decided to do. I decided to learn. I started my career, my data analysis career, learning how to use the Python programming language to analyze data. First thing I did was to take the data camp course on Python programming language on how to become a data scientist. So take notes. Instead of me going into data analysis field, I without any prior knowledge about what data analysis was all about or what even programming was all about, I decided to go into um, data science, right? Learning Python programming language for data science, okay? And it was a bit tedious for me. So imagine somebody that did not know about what programming was, what data analysis was. I had no idea on using Excel for analyzing data and all that. And I was just putting my feet deep into it was just like putting my feet, sinking my feet deep into the ocean. I was just going straight into becoming a data scientist, learning Python programming language. And at that time, I knew that when I started it, it was first exciting, but with time, it was a bit, difficult me trying to keep up. So, if I wanted to do this all over again with the experience I have now, I would not advise for anybody that want to go into becoming a data analysis to start first with learning Python programming language. Okay, that was the first mistake I made. Okay, if I wanted to do this all over again, what will I have done first? The first thing I will do is to start with learning Excel. Okay, so Excel, most of us must have heard about Microsoft Excel, and it's used for analyzing data, right? So it's a basic tool that almost everybody, we all know about. Okay, and you can create dashboard in Excel. You can analyze data in Excel. You can do like even you can do like not just even the basics. You can even do major things on Excel. So instead of going into Python programming language, if I was to start all over again, I would have started with learning how to make use of Excel. So that's the first place which I made an error. I would have started learning Excel. Okay. So the next thing I would have done is to learn SQL next. That's SQL. Okay. Because actually, when I was done with learning Python programming language, I learned SQL. Okay, and this is something did at this point I will actually say okay, I tick this one right, because when you look at most jobs these days, even when they are employing, they are putting in job vacancies for a data analyst, you will see that they want the individual to be able to know how to work with Excel, SQL, that is with database structures, and Tableau or Power BI, then have a knowledge about Python and all that. Okay, so you can see the sequence it goes. most organizations you want to work with, they already have a system or a database where they store their information, right? So you should be able to know how to work with that database structure to be able to get that data you want to analyze, to be able to get that information you want to analyze. So next thing I would have done is learn SQL. Okay, so you should be able to know how to use the select, queries, how to join tables, how to make subqueries. Just know the uh important things when it comes to SQL, because that's one of like the major aspect about data analysis, because you can't be a data analyst if you don't know how to query a table and get information from a database. Okay, so that's a very important aspect. SQL is very important. So you can see, learn Excel, learn the basics about Excel. Okay, then go ahead and learn SQL. You should have a good knowledge about SQL. It is very important. Then when you are done with that, I would think the next thing I should have done is learn a data visualization tool like Tableau or Power BI. Okay, you can pick any of these two data visualization tools because they basically do almost the same thing. So if you follow my story, at the end of the day, okay, I learned Python programming language. When I was done with that, I learned SQL, then I learned Tableau before I went ahead to learn Excel. So you could see it was as if I did a reverse engineering. I started from the bottom right up, okay? But in this situation, I would advise to go for Excel, SQL, then a data visualization tool like Tableau or Power BI. Tableau because it helps you to be able to visualize your data, to create dashboard for your data. Okay, so with Excel you can do that. With Excel you can do that. That's why at the beginning I said go ahead and learn Excel, because with Excel you can also create a dashboard for your data. It's not just only data analysis, it's not just only creating pivot table, but you can also create good dashboards in Excel. Okay, but learning a data visualization so like Tableau or Power BI is like an additional advantage to you. It's as if you've gotten that, you have that experience as a professional data analyst to carry out, not just carry out analytical or statistical summary, but you can also, create a dashboard that you can show to your stakeholders that, okay, this is what we can derive from our data and all that. Okay. So the next thing I would have done is, when I'm done with this, is then I would have now go ahead and, learn Python programming language. The thing about Python programming language is it's not flexible when it comes to creating dashboard. And most of the times when somebody says I'm a data analyst, what comes to your head is dashboard creation. It's nearly impossible to say, okay, you're a data analyst and you don't know how to create a dashboard. And what are those tools you use in creating your dashboard? Excel, Tableau, or Power BI. With Python, you can create charts, but it's not well structured for creating dashboard. It's not a tool that is structured for creating dashboard. You can use it to carry out your analysis, but when it comes to creating dashboard, it's a bit rigid when it comes to the aspect. Okay, but with Python, why I love Python is that you can use it to carry out a deeper analysis. You can use it to carry out diagnostic analysis. You can do hypothesis testing. You can, you do logistic regression, and at this point, you're already leaning towards a bit of data science. So you could see Python is a bit intense when it comes to data analysis. There's just always this thin line between data analysis and data science when it comes to using Python programming language. For most job requirements, the major thing they want you to know is Excel, SQL, a data visualization tool like Tableau or Power BI, and additionally, you might have a basic knowledge about Python programming language. Okay, so for me, this is the pathway I would take if I want to become a data analyst in 2025. So if you also need free resources on these different tools that I've talked about: Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, or Python. You need free resources for you to be able to learn how to make use of these tools. I've created a video on that when I talked about free resources on each of these tools for you to learn how to become a data analyst. So you can go ahead and check out that video. Okay, after learning these tools, because the main goal for you becoming a data analyst is to get a job in that niche, in that career path, right? So after learning these tools, what would be the next thing I would do? Work on projects. As you are learning these tools, ensure you are working on projects. That is what is even going to make the learning process much more faster for you. Because most of the times I found out that in my learning stage, I did more of learning and writing or jotting down. Okay, and at the end, when I was done with that, then I started working on projects. But if I had to do this all over again, I would advise that work on project as you are learning. If you are learning anything relating to Excel, ensure that you decide to take a data set, analyze that data set, and create a dashboard as you are working, as you are learning how to make use of Excel. That's the process. You are going to get all those things you are learning stick to you. The same thing goes with SQL. When you are learning SQL, don't just watch videos and listen to the instructor teaching you how to make use of select, how to join a table, how to do this. Pick a data set of your choice and practice these things as you are learning it. The saying goes that practice makes perfect. Okay, ensure you pick a data set, okay, and practice these things as you are watching your instructor teach you these things. Don't just say, okay, I've watched this video, I know how to make use of select now, because that's I realized that when I was in the learning phase, that's the same thing I did. There are situations or there are times where I was like, okay, I've learned how to make use of select, I've learned how to make use of right join or inner join. Okay, I've watched this video. Now if there's another day and you have this data set and you're like, okay, create a join between these two tables, you find yourself that, oh, you can't do it because you did not practice it. You just watch your tutor or your instructor tell you what to do, but you did not put it into practice. So I would advise you that in as much as you are watching videos, ensure for you to practice it. Download a data set from, it could be from Cargo, it can be from any site of your choice, any data set of your choice. Ensure you know, practice whatsoever you are learning. And once you create dashboard, you create project on that thing. Another thing I will advise you is post those projects. Sites that you can post those projects are, for example, LinkedIn, because from there you will get constructive feedback on those projects that you are currently working on. Because I remember that when I was learning, one thing that was actually there was having this inferiority complex that my project is not good enough, my work is not good enough, I can't post it out there. But something I would do differently is I would have encouraged my younger self then is post those projects out there. Because if your work is not good enough, quite all right, then you're going to get a constructive feedback on, but this is what you should do, you should have done differently. And when you're working on your next project, you're going to put those feedback in your next project, right? So that's what is going to make your project improve over time. Okay, so post that project out there. And another thing that's also very valuable is that you, with time, you might feel you are not doing anything, but with time, you are giving yourself publicity. Okay, so people are coming across your work, people are getting to know you, people are seeing that this person out there is being audacious, this person out there is improving his or her skill day by day. The next phase is getting a job, right? So the thing with getting a job is that most of the time, since we are in this environment that we're not familiar to, we get this cold feet, we get scared. Oh, am I job ready? So if I was to, start this all over again, I would encourage my younger self to, go for that job. Okay, go for that job, write that cover letter and put it out. Go ahead and open a um Upwork page or a freelancer page so that you can, freelance or analyze data for people remotely. Go ahead and submit your cover letter to those job opportunities that you see that are open. just go ahead and try your luck, and you never know, something good might come out of all this. So this brings me to the end. So let me just do a brief recap. So if I was to start again, if I was to do this all over again to become a data analyst in 2025, the first thing I would do is to learn Excel. That is the first tool I'll be making use of. And when I'm done with that, I'll go into SQL. Okay, I'll be learning the basics, the most important things when it comes to SQL, querying tables, joining tables, how to create database structures, and just know everything about SQL because it is very, very important. Then the next thing I'll be doing is pick a data visualization to Tableau or Power BI. It will help me in creating dashboard that would be visualized. Okay, and I also love Tableau because you have this Tableau profile where everybody can see all your dashboard you've worked on. So it's even very good because those dashboard you've created when you were just in the learning phase, and you see the difference. You yourself, you're going to see the difference, like, wow, was I the one who created that dashboard, and wow, this is where I am now, so I can actually do this, right? So you see your growth over time. The next thing I'll be doing is learning Python. So Python is going to be at the end of the journey, not technically at the beginning of the journey, which I did when I started. So that's the roadmap I'll be taking if I was to become a data analyst in 2025. So I hope you've learned one or two things from this video. You can drop in the comment sections if you have any questions for me, or if you have any additional tip for somebody out there who is trying to become a data analyst in 2025. And also remember that my DMs are always open to you. If you go ahead and check the description of this video, the link to my LinkedIn page and IG page are always there, and they are always open, so you can always go ahead at any time, send me that message, ask that question, or you can connect with me if you are stuck analyzing any data and you need my help. Okay, so with that being said, ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like and share this video so that we can get to a larger audience. Bye for now and see you in my next video.